Yes.
I think that's going away. I think they're gonna put Joanne in there. They're gonna
Yes,
put
yes they are,
the door.
yes they are.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it was before.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that'll look nice.
I think they need to.
Yeah.
That's what it was
Yeah, like the
before.
lobby.
Yeah, that was,
So.
that's
So
what,
bad, because I feel like she's in the hallway.
okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. We have a quorum. Today is July 3rd, 2025, and this is a historical preservation meeting. And I'm going to first call for the approval of the minutes for June 16th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the 16th.
Pull your microphone closer to you.
Sorry about that.
I'll second the motion.
Anybody opposed? Okay, we're going to go ahead and approve the minutes for the June 16th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
You just did.
Need approval.
Okay, now we are moving on to old business. And the old business that we have is the request for certification of appropriateness on 208 Washington Avenue. This is approval to demolish the existing house. Do you have anybody here representing?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello again. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay. So month number 4. I'm a lawyer. I'm not a structural engineer. I'm not a mold specialist. I'm not a building inspector. I'm none of the above. So what I find out is that step by step, this takes time. Nobody's available this week. Nobody's available next week. It's the 4th of July. It's raining a lot. Blah 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 blah. So last time I came, I gave you the Mid-South report that found there were high levels of moisture, substantial organic growth. It lacked adequate stabilization in the foundation. They didn't have below grade footings, all things that a structural engineer would probably look at, so I provided you with that. The concern at the time for us was both the structural engineer and the mold. So I put on your desk, or the secretary did, we had a mold specialist, and all these people are referred to us. I don't know any of these people.
Right.
Okay? We call a realtor that we know, they say, these 2 or 3 people call them, we call, whoever can come, they
Yep.
come. So this, ICRC certified inspector of mold came out and provided us with a report, and the report is before you. And his recommendation is, if you live in that house, you're doing so at your own risk. And you see the report there. That was elevated mold spore levels, and he recommends that we have complete remediation done. He talks about the condition, and he suggested we look at all the structural integrity, insulation, roofing, windows, chimney. I'm sure he's covering himself with all of that. But we had our own risk if we live in the house. This is going on and on and on and on. It's costing us thousands and thousands and tens of thousands and tens of thousands more. We're 4 months into it. We would like to request that we go ahead, get it completely remediated from mold, get it all out. Let this company come in and put all the replacement boards underneath that are rotten, put footers at the bottom, put new whatever we need, footings, pilings, whatever we need under the house to get it structurally up. These are pictures of the house, the back of the house. The back of that house, sometimes, contractor says about 40, 50 years ago, a back part was added onto that house. I can find where no permit was issued, no approval was granted, it was just added to the back of the house. It's terrible. You can see, they poured a slab 3 foot high. Can we amend our petition and get you to approve us tearing that part off? You can see where the roof of the original house stops and the new starts. Can we tear the back of it off, keep the structure that's there, get it all redone, spend whatever, tens of thousands of dollars that we gotta spend, get it redone on the inside, and then on the outside, put hardy plank and change the color.
So are we talking about the stuccoed part of the house, basically?
Yes,
in
the
these
back
pictures?
part. You see the
This
back
is the,
part?
yeah, this addition here.
This is the addition here. You can see these boards don't even, that's a outhouse that was added to it, like 50 years ago. No permission, no nothing. That's falling apart. The what now? Yeah, well, you got pictures from our first meeting where a tree fell in the
Right.
garage. They don't even have cement floors, they dirt floors.
How do we handle that, Wade, at this point? If we're not talking about the main home, and they're gonna go ahead and do the structural part and the mold and take care of that, but he's talking about the addition that he has no reference that was ever approved, along with the third building that has a tree that's fallen down.
Okay, well, because the work on the interior does not require anything.
Right.
By the HB, by the
Right.
yard market board. And if you're wanting to, let's say, amend your request to those, basically, three items, to abolish the
added on part.
non-contributing add-on, the addition to it, the outer storage buildings, and then we wanted to do the hardy plank on the exterior, add that to the
Right.
request also. Those three items.
They changed the color. We gotta get permission for that?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay,
Well,
change it. I don't want it yellow.
yes, yeah.
You need to give us a sample of the colors.
Okay.
this what you're proposing?
No.
No, that was just a picture using the structure.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what color it would be, but it won't be brown and yellow.
Right.
Well, then, what I would suggest is to amend your request, as you stated. Y'all would then vote on those three items. I guess with the paint, we need to come back later time with that, whenever you decide on the.
And the remediation, we would have nothing to do with, because
Right.
that's interior. I mean, that, of course, you would want to do regardless.
So the only question that I would have, in terms of removing that, tearing down that structure will have no consequences of the structure of the house that stands there. So if you were to remove that
It's not gonna
it's not gonna
compromise.
compromise
Yeah.
the main house.
No.
Okay.
It's that, you can see where the roof line stops back there.
Right.
It's just completely thick. It's just terrible.
Yeah, I
And
understand.
it's very typical of, back then, there was like, I need more room. Okay, we're just gonna build more room. I mean, you go up in Van Cleef.
It may have been an outdoor porch of some sort that was.
Yeah, that they've,
It
you know,
looks like
that
it
they've
maybe was.
enclosed.
Because there's some windows about this wide and that long.
And we do see that a lot. It's just this sun porch that they've just all of a sudden
It
decided
turned
to
into
slap
more than a
windows in
porch.
it.
I think they probably tried to make it a bedroom. I don't know what it was, but.
Okay, so we're doing an amendment to what we already have, and that is for us to allow them to remove the structure that's possibly a outdoor porch, a sun porch of some kind, and two storage units that are located behind it that are not fixtures to the main house and would have no damage to the main house. So,
And then the hardy plank also.
and the hardy plank.
And so aesthetically, other than the brown and the yellow, the front of the house will remain the same. You're just gonna get rid of in the back.
It's a non-contributing addition to that.
Yes.
Come on, come on.
Yeah, come on.
Right now, what we're asking is to remove everything except the original structure.
Right.
That's what we're asking.
Mhm.
That little part on the side,
Yeah, the little part.
the
on
whole
side.
back of the
All
house
the stuff that
is
didn't get
added
approved,
on.
yeah, that wasn't
So
added.
everything that was
yeah.
added on, you're
The
asking to
kitchen,
demolish,
It's all,
and then you're gonna replace it, or?
Yeah, we just gotta
yes, but
replace
we'll
it
be
in that
back with a
footprint.
With
plan
permits.
for
Okay.
that.
In that footprint.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's,
Gotcha.
that's all the photos you've got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we just need to get moving right now,
Right.
and that's the way to
Right.
get moving, is get that
Sure.
off, start gutting, and then we'll come
Clean
back
it
with
out.
a plan for an add-on to the
Okay.
back.
Yeah, we'll get them to come do the
Now-
whole thing.
Wade, can we handle that amendment now?
Yes, you can. It's-
Okay.
So that they
yes,
can
that
keep.
is- I mean, that,
Yeah, I would
it's less
want,
than the, I mean, it's not contradictory, and was less than the request to demolish it, so yes, I think that would be
Yeah.
consistent.
I mean, in order to help them along, that's
Yeah.
what I would hope we could do.
Yeah.
And then what we'll do, we'll amend the report when it goes to the Board of Aldermen and make it clear that, as part of the approval, that presumably that's what you'll approve, that the HBC recommended approval of these 3 items, and that will be incorporated into what the.
I wish we had a drone shot, it's like, so it's so hard to tell in little square pictures on
The
this.
first time we came, we kept some of the pictures.
I don't know what happened to them.
The city had them, you can see from above, the 2 roof
Yeah,
lines.
it's like we have a little blocks, but it doesn't really show us anything,
It's off the back of the house, right?
Yeah,
It's right off the
and it's
back.
add-on that has
The
not
original
been.
roof, you can.
Yeah, I see the roof line,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then in the back, they added
Did
this
that, yeah.
this thing in the
So in
back.
other words, we've got these 2 eaves here, and it's behind those.
I can tell you, I can show you on the side where
But these
the
two are
add-on
original.
starts.
Right.
This is all original, but when you get behind the house.
Behind that, so it's behind
the
this.
back of the
See
house.
this window
Oh,
right
that
here?
helps.
That's
Yes,
part of the
yes, yes,
add-on.
Right.
yes.
It starts kind of right between this window and this.
Just after that
window.
first set of windows behind the chimney.
You can see where the roof
And it's
is.
obviously a bad metal window on a new structure. And we probably will be asking to replace the windows too, but we won't do that to you tonight.
I mean, our intention was never to make things difficult for you, it's just our hearts are with
Yeah, this is the front.
historic value. And so, compromise is key. Compromise is
That's
key.
what we'll do, we'll get that.
It's my heart.
This little piece right here is like a outhouse they put in there.
Right.
You know?
Contributing.
So this is, on that exhibit, so right, this is the front of the
Okay,
house.
yeah.
So back here, this was all added on, and this is that little outhouse that they added on the side.
So is this where that, the basically the plywood floor is in that
Oh,
area?
plywood floors up here, in the main bedroom.
You're gonna have to replace it, well,
Well, I mean, they know
that's a
that. Yeah, they-
demolition.
I can do that.
Yeah.
So
You would
we're
wanna
just
do
gonna
that.
Redo everything under the house.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah.
They gotta put.
You would have to.
Everything.
You would
The
have,
joists aren't hitting the bricks, so you have to.
I gotta do it all, and that's okay, that's okay.
You want that.
But we need this going.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, in light of this new information, I would like to make a motion to approve the demolition of the outbuilding with the addition of the hardy plank and entertain any future addition regarding windows and paint and hardy plank to the new residents, that we approve that.
Do we have to approve the amendment?
And the 2 accessory sheds as
Yes.
well.
Yes,
As
ma'am.
as long as the original building.
And I also needed to state in that the original building stays intact.
So
As-
moved.
Yeah. Do I have a second?
Second.
The motion, yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you so much.
I mean, it's hard, it's hard.
Thank you very much for your patience.
It will be the July 15th.
Yeah, so it'll be on the July 15th agenda, so it'll be on the consent agenda.
Only thing on the agenda.
Final approval.
Take a picture.
That
Chuck,
would be easy.
your pictures?
I'd like to get,
Thank you, ma'am.
can we have those and scan them and get them back to you? Okay.
There is no new business. Thank you. Happy
Thanks, guys.
Fourth. Happy Fourth. There is no new business. Do we have any audience requests? Is there anything administrative that we need to be aware of?
No, don't know if we'll have a meeting next month or not. Our filing deadline is not till Monday, so we do have one? We do have one, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and
We do have
I'm
one.
actually gonna be out of town if it's on the first
We
week.
can discuss that.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll
hopefully
have the
we'll
regular
have,
email and we'll get attendance and everything, so that's fine.
okay, yes.
They will be holding the meetings for the open positions, and then I believe that we're gonna have like an orientation. And what me and Elizabeth are proposing is that we do an orientation with everybody, so we can just have everybody on the same page going forward.
Do we have any say or any, anything to do with the new people being brought in?
Yes, absolutely. If you
Yeah.
have recommendations you'd like to
Yeah.
make regarding
Yes.
reappointments?
But all, I was gonna say, but all the applications are in already, though, right?
Yes, they're all in,
And-
because the deadline was last Friday. so-
I have those two people that we're aware of from HOSA that applied for the job.
I think so, I don't remember, I believe so. that-
We have so many up there for all of our.
I know, I called him on Monday and found out that
Can I
his cutoff was
call
Friday.
him? Can I just call you on Monday and
You
come
can
by?
call me.
Can I come by and see you?
I have all the
Yeah.
applications.
Okay, good, good,
Yes, ma'am.
perfect.
And yeah, if you want to make a, personal recommendation
Yeah.
to, the alderman, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. I wanted to make sure that we have people that are interested and have information and can help us.
And I'd like to get your feedback on the orientation binders that I'm making to make sure there's anything else you want included, so that would be good.
Also, with an administrative, I met with HOSA at their last board meeting, and we have talked about kind of all working together to try and make it easier for HOSA and for us doing anything with historical preservations. One of the things that I have brought to some of the board members and also to HOSA is I would really love to make a booklet of all the historical homes that we have in Ocean Springs, listing them from like one being the oldest down to whatever we go to. So we have a booklet of all the historical homes. So if something comes up, we can list it as number 25.
Right.
You know, so we would have a booklet that we can refer to and say, oh yeah, this house is da-da-da-da, and we have some reference rather than us trying to just figure everything out at once.
Good idea.
I would really like to do that. The second.
What about a map too, or?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And just have them all numbered so we can find them and we know where they are and we're not kind of just going through. The second thing is in something with realtors is I would really love to try to put together some kind of pamphlet for if you buy a historical home, you know, congratulations, you've bought a historical home. These are the prerequisites of owning a historical home. You have to go before the HPC, so we don't have people begging for forgiveness, but rather we have people who are knowledgeable.
That understand what they're getting into
Yes.
when they're purchasing,
Yes.
as with
Right.
these people.
Because, yeah, a lot of people don't completely understand when they get a historical home what they're getting into, and, you know, we have to give them some information so they have an awareness of what they're coming into. So we're not in a position where people are begging for forgiveness or people are mad at them and they don't understand.
Is this something to distribute to the realtors for if one the well, for instance, that house
Right.
that we're discussing is on the market right now.
Right.
For sale.
Yeah.
So, you know,
So that
there are
way,
things that are not disclosed in that
Right.
should be.
well, and also, but with that being said, it's a historical home, so the only thing that we would be interested in is making sure whoever buys that house is
Understands.
aware that they just purchased a
Well, and
historical.
they may not have known when they bought that
Right.
house that these things have to be done. And
So-
they're learning, but they're, you know, they're,
I figure that way it'll give everybody a equal playing field
yeah.
when they buy a
I think
home.
it's a good idea. I mean, that's stuff we can put together, you and I go do that in Canva
Yeah.
and put stuff together for sure.
I'll just say, just start with the historic district guidelines. I
Yes,
mean, we provide those to anyone asking, if they are looking at or bought a housing historic district, we'll gladly give them a copy of that. Of course, that covers all the districts.
Right.
Maybe something that is more condensed
yes.
might be appropriate.
And
Of course,
that way people
also-
aren't having to come seek it, they are getting it.
Right, so then we have to have someone or persons that are monitoring what comes on the market.
Yeah.
So that we can do that properly.
It goes for property too. Sometimes they buy an empty lot and they think they can do what they want, but it's inside a historical district and there's guidelines that have to be followed.
I understand there's gonna be cracks and things are gonna fall through the cracks and all of that, but if we can somehow mitigate a lot
Sure,
of this.
tighten it up
You
for
know,
them.
where people at least know what they're getting into, because I do know, there have been people who have bought historical homes and they did not know. And they are getting pulled in going, I didn't know. And it's not fair to them, and it's not fair to us, and it's not fair to the community, so I figured if we can at least try and make it more of an even playing field. But I really want to have all the historical homes listed, so everybody knows. The other thing I'd really like to do is make the Ishii homes a different list.
Yeah,
So we have the historical homes and we have the Ishii homes.
that's something that I want to do myself.
Yes.
And we're still looking at it as time permits to get a good inventory and list of the Ishii homes.
Yes,
You
and I
know,
think
that's
that would be great.
that might even be something that the chamber might want to be involved in too, is that,
There could be
put a little
great for us
pamphlet
to
together for
So,
there.
you know, I mean, who knows, but I just think it's something that, I feel like we're lacking in that area with the historical preservation, is us actually knowing where the historical homes are and where they're located and how we can be more efficient in knowing what they are. Because I do know there are times I come in and I'm like, where is this house? And I really do want to know, and I want to be aware, so I think that would give everybody the opportunity to have a better idea.
They just did another survey, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Have we gotten any information back on that?
Not yet. I was talking with Carolyn Martin about that this week, and they have until the consultants have sometime in August to get that to us. Supposedly, from our conversation with them, we should be getting it sometime later this month or maybe early August. This is the update of the inventory. Now, they also have limited money for the same consultants to update the guidelines, the historic district guidelines. That was something that will be, they'll be working on in the fall. But yeah, the inventory of the existing structures should be coming out pretty soon.
And a possible change of historic districts,
Very likely that
expansion or
will
change or,
more than likely, from what I understand, it's going to be some contraction of it because they're looking at, some of the structures that may have been torn down or altered or whatever. As far as expansion of the districts, that's something that would need to, this could be initiated by y'all and would be approved by the Board of Aldermen. In fact, even the contraction of them would be the same thing. But that's something that we'll see what consultants,
Yeah.
what the inventory has to say.
Perfect.
What happens if, like, somebody just goes ahead and does something that we suggested they not do? Is there a fine?
It's a violation of the building permit.
Okay.
So, there can be fines associated.
So for them to be permitted, if you're in a historical area, they have to come through us. If that step is skipped,
Well,
then
they
there's penalties.
They have to come through y'all, and then.
And then they go to planning.
Get a building permit for that, and that's where the,
Problem would.
problems would arise. If their building permit is not consistent with what y'all approved, then that's obviously it's a violation of the building permit.
Well, and there are people, like I have a friend who added on a lean-to for her golf cart. And she was in a historical district, and she did not know, truly didn't know that she had to come in to do that, because she just did the color, everything. And she contacted me and said, I'm being called in because, and I said, yeah, she had no idea. So that's what I'm trying to mitigate, because I mean, she obviously did not want
there's also
to do anything,
I
and
remember that much.
yeah, and what she did was fine,
state.
but it's one of those things where it's just easier for them, everybody to know what they need to do.
Yeah.
And I don't want people sitting here begging for forgiveness. So that way we're all on the same page.
Much easier to get it on the front end.
Mm-hmm.
So can you go, like, where would you go and find the maps for the history? Because it just floors me, I live on Bowen, but Bowen stops at General Pershing,
Right.
the historic district. So
Right.
anything after that is not historic,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So where do you
Our
find
GIS
those?
map on our website.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
on
We have a filter or a layer for the historical districts.
Also, the state's Department of Archives and History, they have a historic structure inventory. And there's a map that's associated with that too.
Right, okay.
I think, we can send you a link to that. I mean,
Okay.
you could go to it's the Mississippi Department of Archives and History,
Okay.
MDAH.gov. And I think that the category, the drop-down list is historic resources or historic inventory. And so it's for the entire state, of course,
Right.
but you can zoom in on Ocean Springs or Biloxi or anywhere else for that matter, and it will show you the historic districts that we have, and also each of the structures that's in that district. It gives a complete inventory of all of them.
Right, okay. Thank you.
I also suggest, Owen and I went to the conference that we had, and it was, in Jackson, it was really informative, and I enjoyed it very much, and I plan to continue to go. But I would highly suggest, if you can go, to go, because it was very informative.
And they covered that in the meeting as well.
Yes.
If someone tore down a home that was not approved, and depending on the significance of the home and how it's registered with the state, even nationally, it could be criminal.
Yeah, right. And so, and with all of that too, you get to meet people in different areas and see how they handle things, and so it's very interesting. I enjoyed it.
I did.
It was
It's very
great.
informative.
Yeah,
Very
I went to
informative.
one of them a few years ago.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's good just to, have contact with the people in other cities doing the same thing we're
Yeah.
doing. And also talk to the folks in the state and just get a perspective from them.
Yeah.
But it's well worth the time. I think.
It is. It really is. I enjoyed it very much. So, does anybody have anything else?
Yeah, I have a couple of things that I'd like to say. Since my time is becoming short, my term's running out, and I have reapplied, mind you. I don't know that I'll be reassigned or not, but if that happens, I'll be happy to be here. But it's been a great privilege for me to meet all of you and work with you on this commission, and I have enjoyed it. It's been learning experience for me, and so I thank all of you for your work with me on this commission. I appreciate it. And number two, I want to express my appreciation to the planning staff. Y'all have a tremendous job that a lot of people don't understand or appreciate.
Juggling us.
And it is incredibly important. It's a difficult thing to run a city. And it takes people like you and us, but it takes people like you to make things go. And I want to make very clear that I very much appreciate all of your hard work. To include the frustrations that come
Because
along
it's not
with
always
that.
easy, we know.
Being a public servant myself for over 30 years, I understand the challenges you face and the frustrations that come along. And Wade, bless your heart. You've had a taste of retirement and got reeled back in. But I want to commend you for the work that you do.
Absolutely.
It is a tremendous service to the city. Essential, I would say, especially in a city like Ocean Springs, which is indeed, by its very nature, historic. And it makes this commission important in its advisory capacity to the board. So I appreciate all of you. And thank you for your work. And whether I'm here or not, please know that you have my gratitude for the work that you do. And I thank you
Appreciate all
very
the
much.
effort y'all put into it. It's
It's a group effort.
Well, I have to say Wade puts in extra time because he lives right around the corner from me, and I don't know how many times I see him walking the dogs. I go, wait a minute!
to walk your dog too.
We have a little powwow.
it's a good time for
I
it.
know, but I would have to echo your sentiments in that, it has been very enjoyable, especially having y'all carry us along and make sure we get everything right, but y'all are just wonderful, and I appreciate each
Indeed.
one of you.
We try.
Indeed.
Yeah,
You do try.
so,
Thank you.
anything else? Okay, well then I am going to adjourn the meeting, and I wish everybody a happy 4th.
Thank you much.
Happy.
And,
I just need someone to,
All in
there
favor?
we go.
Yes.
Yes, we're all in favor.
We are always.
We are. All right, you guys have a happy 4th.
Yeah, y'all too.
We'll see. What happens, it happens. If not, I'll come
Did we
visit.
get to vote?